So when you're talking about the subscription opportunity, everyone knows that is a business that are growing fast, 3 times faster than the other industry across the world. And it is a huge opportunity in Latin America. So when talking about card ownership in LATAM, the digitalization of the customer, the user base, this is growing a lot, different from what we're seeing in the last decade and so. So the numbers are growing fast, and with subscription, we need this kind of payment method to be well evolved and well established in the market in order to perform better this kind of business. So, but when you talk about a subscription and also this kind of merchant-initiated transactions, what are the roadblocks we face in that? So, what is the challenge? Also to convert this kind of payments, right? When it's talking about what is the main declines that we face on a card transaction basis, if we can summarize those, I resumed on that. The 3 more important ones that we're gonna be talking about in this presentations, like insufficient funds, involving card and not accepted transactions. So how we can boost and increase the performance on this kind of declines, how we can work around on that and recover, and also make sure that you're guaranteed all the addressable customer that you want to achieve on that. So first we need to understand what is the addressable thing, the addressable message, and what are actually retriable or not. Because it doesn't matter for us to doesn't have any strategy to understand what is truly worth my time, what the strategy I need to work with, and what will be the focus that I need to talk. I need to differentiate what is retriable, what is not retriable. The not retriable are like, literally, there's no way for us to convert this payment, but retriable ones are the ones that are going to be recovering, and we're talking about subscription, the famous retries. When I'm going to be performing my retry, what will be the strategy or not, and how we will address those kind of declines in the market. So 82% of all the transactions that were declined in the first attempt are retriable. And we're talking about insufficient funds and not accepted transactions. This is the main objective of our talk today. So continuing the logic behind where we speak in the morning, João said about all these rising markets have peculiarities, details for each country. Each country has its own kind of share. Overall, the declining share is similar on all of those, but some of those has higher not accepted transaction because the issuers are more not willing to let away some fraud declines on their side. So not accepted is basically the issuer not accepting this transaction, understand that something is not right, and the insufficient funds specifically. So what we will retry. So during this presentation, we will focus on the 3, but not accepting high risk is very similar. So the 2 main retriable ones, so insufficient funds and not accepted. So talking about insufficient funds, remember that everyone that works on a recurring scenario, subscription scenario, could say, hey, I have an AI that's already analyzed all my data and give me the best day to retry and so on. But I think we all need to understand why the insufficient funds happened and when is the best moment to retry, and then you can increase any kind of data analysis, AI support that you have from the ground zero of how we can cover that. When I talk about insufficient funds, as simple as it could say, literally the customer doesn't have a fund, but why the customer doesn't have fund? Is this the right moment? When this customer will have the funds for us to get a transaction well converted? So when you look about let's take a look on the share of insufficient funds by day of the month. So here we summarize all the LATAM countries at once just for us to understand how we can identify patterns on the insufficient funds share of declines by day of the month, regardless of the month, and when this kind of trends start to happen and the reasons why that happen. So when we break down by country, each country has its own moment of the month that is best moments to try to recover insufficient funds. But why this happens? We're talking about when is the day of the payment from these customers to receive money from their jobs in each country. That's the most important information that we must consider when talking about when these funds are going to be available. Like talking about debit card, you're directly speaking to the customer that received the money in the bank account. Credit card, The moment the credit card bill is going to be expiring usually talks a lot about the moment this customer is going to be receiving the payments. Some countries in Latin America, there is like one payment by month. Other countries have two payments, like bi-weekly payments. So you need to understand what will be the reality of the country you're trying to optimize your payment performance. So when we're talking about Brazil usually we receive our payments like one time per month, usually in the first business day of that month. So if you're looking into like the trends of insufficient funds, it clearly goes down the share of insufficient funds from the transactions that happen during this period of time. This is also in Mexico, but as Mexico is also common for us to see two payments, like bi-weekly. Every 2 weeks, a customer receives a new payment. So we see this trend going down and going up 2 times in a month. So each market has its own peculiarities. In truly to define a strategy of how to recover these transactions, you need to know your customer, like know how the market you are in works and how you could overall work on that. And it's important to understand there's no like magic number say how the range is going to, like in Brazil, from the 30th day of the past month to the 5th, because not only the exact day of the month, like the first day, the second, the third is important, but as well when this day happens on a weekday. So if this is a weekend, this is a holiday or not. So let's consider that the first day of the specific month starts on a Saturday. So usually this customer is going to be receiving this money on the next available business day. So it already puts this availability for the 30th day of that month. So everything counts. On a holiday, for instance, if a holiday is in the end of the week, and this week is let's say this month started exactly on that holiday, you're pushing already this kind of availability to the next third or the fourth day of that month. So you need to get everything that well aligned and then putting in a strategy. So if I know if my customer billing cycle is ending on this month is ending on a weekend, let's wait 2 more days to make the retry. Let's try to optimize this kind of conversion on our side. And this is important for us to consider. Not only, of course, looking at the data, understand the trends or so on, but truly understand why the data behaves like that. And also, if you put all the capabilities about data analytics on your side, you can, of course, convert the maximum that we can do talking about specifically insufficient funds.